Hello, 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 and welcome to yet another video exploring yet another character from Of Time and Space Lunar Rise number 1. Today we are looking at our main villain, Ragos. Ragos is a Haman, or at least he used to be. He's been significantly altered by a piece of the Nocturne. The Nocturne being the creature which burst out from the Earth and destroyed the past world, and was stopped by the Dragi in the past. Now, a piece remained on this spot where they defeated this Nocturne creature, and Ragos was mining there one day. Being the greedy type person he was, he knew he should have stayed away from that area. It was called the Damned Vale for a reason. But he, being a greedy swordsmith and fighter type person, decided he would go in there and strip mine the place on his own. And in doing so, he released a piece of this creature and it infected him essentially and took over his body and now uses him as a host to continue its dastardly plan to rid the planet of all life and thus the universe, since this is the only planet in the universe that has life on it at this time. So, what is Ragos' motivation? Well, it's just that. He wishes to return the universe to a lifeless state. That is the sole intention of this Nocturne type creature. And there's a good reason for it, but I won't get into that because it kind of dwells on major spoilerish type material for later on in the series. Just know that his goal is to destroy all life on the planet. In doing so, though, he can manipulate life to mimic his own sort of non-existence or excuse me for a second, non-existence or dead existence, if you will. Now, Ragos started as another character named Gaius, who was more of a living type creature who had been, severely damaged and replaced with cyborg parts, and that kind of like completely changed around when I rewrote the story, and Gaius is no longer a character anymore. He has been completely replaced by this character who fills the role of main villain, extremely powerful main villain, but is a little bit more interesting in his, his motivations are still sort of almost in the one-dimensional type stage where like he's pure evil essentially, but nonetheless he is a more compelling villain than the previous evil character Gaius. So Ragos is a weird type creature now. He can manipulate the bodies of the dead, as was where I was going before, by him being able to change matter to meet his own. So essentially what he's doing now is what the Nocturne did before with the dead. He would infect them with these like spore type creatures and then turn them into these things called Phobos. And the Phobos are essentially, for lack of a better term, zombies, but they're more monstrous than just like a plain old zombie. I didn't want just plain old zombies in my story. I wanted something more. So we've got the Phobos. Now, Ragos himself commands these creatures, but he's also manipulating people because he knows he can't just waltz in like he did before by bursting out of the ground, so to speak, and ruining the world. It didn't work out for them so much in the past. So now he's playing the long game, and he's manipulating people as well as transforming the dead. So he's actually working with several people within the races of the world to undermine and destroy things. He's promised them whatever they desire as reward to turn to his side, basically. So the Angelos are in charge at the time that he comes back, and that's where Anazia is, obviously, and Ragos is extremely powerful at this point, even though he's just a fragment of the old creature. He is still essentially an immortal type evil character. Now, he's beatable, but that is essentially the crux of the story on how to beat this this seemingly immortal, infinite type evil creature. And that is the essence of an Anazia's quest during the course of this story. So there's not much else I can say about Ragos without getting into like extreme spoiler territory, and I don't want to really ruin that per se. But let's just say in this sort of story, he sort of fills the role of the Emperor from Star Wars. He's the ultimate bad guy now. Like I said, he's controlling the minds of others, so he has these lackeys out there, and they come into play a little bit later in the story. But there are a few in the first issue that may or may not surprise you. So with that, I think I'm pretty much described what his role is in this book. So I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll close off this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please go and back the Indiegogo campaign while there's still time left. The link is in the description, and I very much thank you for watching, as I said, and I hope that you back this project and we can make this magic happen. Thanks. I'll see you on the next video.